I'm taking over, that's a promise, not a threat.
Uppercut season off top, you stop breathing.
Yeah, what's good, yo? Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where, as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. Yo, I'm your host for tonight, Pat Scofield, doing representing, and as always, I got my man with me, and we'll let him introduce himself.
Hey, yo, what's good? You know what this is? Your boy King P, boy nigga boxing the building. Ring Gang Radio all day. Let's go. Monday Night Raw. We're talking boxing, not wrestling. So.
Yes, sir. Of course, if we mention wrestling, then LB, who if he was on tonight would be kind of would throw some slick comments toward it.
Yeah, yes he will. But it's not. He's taking the night off. He's taking the day off, putting his PTO time. So it's just you and me for the time being until our third man. Until who's the third man? The third man will be coming shortly.
Right. Absolutely, of course, that's some wrestling shit too. So if you know. But the LB taking the night off, and then Rome is taking his sick time PTO. So it's just myself and King P, talking about this boxing tonight. So last weekend we had some boxing. We had boxing from Top Rank, and we had boxing from Golden Boy in Mexico. You know what I'm saying? And I think I'll start with the Golden Boy card first. Because
I'm gonna just say this: I'm always weary of them fucking cards in Mexico because always some fuckery afoot with the scorecard. So, not saying that there was this time, but usually I'm just like, okay. Especially if there's a Mexican fight, I ain't gonna lie. Because I was like, all right, let's see what happens. Because I still remember that fucking Foster fight where they were. They already had the fucking scores turned in before the fucking fight even ended.
Yeah, that Foster. And the Foster Hernandez fight, which was a damn shame. Not to say that Hernandez could not have been winning the fight, but basically when you have one card where basically Hernandez won the card no matter what, then that.
Yeah, come on, they already filled out the card before the fight even started. We know what the hell it was.
Yeah, so. Bro was just like, yo, let me just do it so I can drink my tequila with the slug in it and just keep it moving. Yeah, was this in Cancun as well? Was this what? Yeah, it was. Yeah, because
I thought so.
Yeah, because Eddie, he won the rights to the card, and he wanted to make Hernandez a champion. And truthfully, Rocky's a good fighter. He's a good, but it was just like it was just messed up that was the case. But Foster again.
No, I meant was this fight this weekend? Was that one in Cancun as well?
Was it? Let me just double check that again. I mean, it was definitely in Mexico. Let's see where it was. Let me just go to BoxRec, the Book of Records, and I'll go to Tevin Farmer's record. Yes, it was in Cancun. Absolutely.
I thought so. Something about them vacation cities for fights. Ooh, always something. I guess the judges like to take a vacation too.
Yeah, exactly. And this was the rematch after late last year where Zepeda fought Tevin Farmer the first time around in Riyadh, and unsurprisingly, Zepeda was in tough and got knocked down. On top of that, by Tevin Farmer, and Tevin Farmer would lose a very razor-thin split decision in a fight that most people thought he won.
Yeah.
So, go ahead, P.
No, I was gonna say, a lot of people walked away feeling like Farmer should have won, or even if you had it close, it was like, damn, Zepeda looked like shit. So that was the kind of the takeaway. So now it was just like, okay, was he going to right the wrong in a fight that he shouldn't have had to have wrong in the first place in many people's eyes?
Facts. So now enter the Mexico card, where Oscar decided to go take his show on the road into Cancun. And, obviously it raised an eyebrow because it's like, damn, you're not even in America, not even in this usual, West Coast haunts, but straight up in Mexico. And this fight, though, Zepeda would again, would win a majority decision. But there was still a lot to take away from this fight. The first half of the fight, though, I'm not going to lie to you, I thought Farmer was going to get stopped because it just seemed like Zepeda's pressure was really getting to Farmer, and Farmer had some sort of arm or hand injury or something like that.
I mean, and he was standing his ground. I'll say that he wasn't shying away from it. So from the pressure,
and he took
ground at times.
And he took some hellacious body shots. Like, good lord, I was like, how is he taking these body shots? Like, how is this even possible? Because I mean, Zepeda, for his faults, though, knows how to land some body shots. And I was like, how did he not go take a knee? And it really looked like that Zepeda was going to stop him, or Farmer's corner was going to pull him out of the fight because Farmer wouldn't sit down in his corner. He was standing. It was just everything. The body language was just telling me that Farmer was ready to.
Yeah, he was very fidgety. Right, he seemed very restless. So I didn't know what to think of it, but I was like, all right, let's see how far he can go with it.
Yeah, but in the second half of the fight, Zepeda's pressure, his started to subside a little bit, and Tevin started basically picking him off, like uppercuts, counter punching off the ropes, a lot of different things, and it was just like, okay, like Tevin has some life. Tevin is showing some dog, and I think there was one round in there where Tevin, I think, staggered.
I think was it the 10th or 11th round? Like, it was late. It was very late where he buzzed him. I was like, oh shit! Like, Zepeda was clearly buzzed.
Yeah, he was. And I was just like, oh. And then in the 12th round, Tevin scores a knockdown, and it was a knockdown. It's not a slip.
A knockdown that wasn't called a knockdown.
And that is starting to get on my goddamn nerves. Like, this cannot be. Like, I mean, we already went through this with Tank and Roach. And of course, it happened in the round 9 or whatever. So even people say that, oh, if you count the knockdown, maybe it might, it's not gonna change the results of the other later rounds. But this one happened right in the 12th round, whereas even so, if you go back to score the knockdown, this is a knockdown that definitely affected the fight. Like the fight of the score, like this, that should have counted. In which, if it did, it would either been a majority draw or Farmer would have won a split decision.
I don't know because I haven't seen the scorecards. For some reason, I was looking for them and I couldn't fucking find them. I don't know why, but they didn't make them. They didn't make them really available. I was thinking, I'm like, I had to look and I thought I found them, but it was the original. Like the ones from the original fight. So I don't know how they scored the fight, but depending on how they scored it, so yeah, it might have ended up being a majority draw. I don't know. Depends. I have to see the actual scorecard.
So basically, the scorecards were 116, 112, and 115, 113 for Zepeda, and then a 114.
I know the actual scores. I meant like the round by round.
Oh, a round by round card.
Yes.
Yeah, I did not see that one. Yeah, but yeah. I mean, basically, it probably. I mean, if you do the math, the 114, if the knockdown counted, Tevin would have won on that card. The 115, 113, if you take away the point or whatever, it would be a draw. If I'm not mistaken, no, because it was a 10-9. And then that's assuming that they gave Farmer the 12th round. And that's why I say I got to see the fucking round by round card because I can never put it past any of these judges to not give fighters the rounds that they clearly won. Yeah. Whereas the 116, 112 might have provided the cushion for Zepeda to actually win on that one. More, if that, but the other two could have easily determined the fight if that knockdown had.
I think that one would have been would have been 115, 112. So yeah, it might have been a majority draw.
Yeah. So it might be, but either way, it's just like and you feel for Tevin because Tevin fought his heart out again. Like and he fought and this time and it wasn't. although I do bet Zepeda fought a little bit better, but it was
until the end. Listen, the second half of the fight showed me a lot. Kind of exposed a lot about Zepeda. Certain things that his gas tank might not be as great as we thought it was, because it's different. He throws a lot of volume and his pressure, but it's different. It's different when you're throwing at a moving target, because a lot of the guys that he fought before weren't great movers. Were kind of on the stationary side. So yeah, you're gonna fucking throw a bajillion punches and not get tired because they're not going anywhere. They're right there. Right. With Farmer, and Farmer, even when he wasn't even running. I don't think there was any time where I felt like he was got on his track shoes. He was, like I said, he was fighting in the pocket. He was not shying away, but he still managed to still provide, not just be a sitting target. He moved around a bit. He gave different angles. He made it hard for Zepeda to just land the shots that he wanted to land. And I think at the end that kind of tired him.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right, because obviously if you watch a Zepeda fight, these guys are not really movers like that. Even the ones Jojo Diaz pretty much took a 12-round ass whooping, but he wasn't going.
Jojo wasn't going anywhere. It was a punching bag. Yeah. It felt like I was watching Alvarado with him.
Whereas Rene Alvarado, he was the one that actually gave Zepeda a fight because he stood in the pocket with him, and that was the thing. That was probably the first time we kind of seen that maybe that gas tank is not what it was, but Zepeda still won that fight clearly. But that was I'm
also wondering about Zepeda's punch resistance, because Farmer's not a puncher like that, and he's still rocking him. Yeah. So now imagine you putting him in there with bigger punchers, and he's already been hurt before and dropped. Alvarado hurt him in that fight. He's been buzzed, he's been hurt, he's been dropped.
I'm sorry. He was dropped in Mexico by a random. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
exactly. So it's he's not I've always thought he was the wild card. When people talked about all the guys at 135, I always said he was the wild card, but he was never the surefire ace in the hole that he's going to beat all those guys. He was just a dark horse that maybe he'll beat one or two of these guys, but depending on who you match him up with, when people were trying to say he would beat Tank, hell no, he would not beat Tank.
And I think, I might be crazy, but I think Shakur could stop him. Maybe. I
get that. The only problem with Shakur is unlike Farmer, Shakur hasn't showed the willingness to sit there and actually
and
apply that thought and trade.
In the pocket,
he's not going to sit in the pocket. Any sense of that, he's just going to get on his back foot. He's going to get out the way. He's going to pivot around.
He'll make him look foolish. Yeah. He'll do a shanty on him. He'll definitely make him foolish.
He's so. But that's the thing. He'll make him look foolish, but he's not going to make him pay for anything coming at him, and that's going to make for a dullard of a fight. So I don't think he can do what Farmer did.
It's kind of, I'm sorry, I just checked in, guys, but it's kind of embarrassing in a sense, because me and I think Shutter were kind of saying, okay, we like your chances against Loma before those Farmer fights, but now it's you couldn't hurt the guy who was hurt the whole fight. He started. You trying to press the issue, trying to get at him early on. It looked impressive, but he slowed down, and the one-armed fighter gave him a close-ass fight. Undersized, and he was hitting him with some uppercuts too. He was landing some sweet.
Yeah. And that's the thing is and this is where Zepeda's and this is why this is why pretty much everyone's saying Oscar try to keep doing it, because I said, we always say Zepeda should have had a title shot by now. And this interim stuff that he's rocking,
he's literally top one in all this. Maybe not now, but he was top one in all sanctioning bodies at one time recently.
Yeah, exactly. And truthfully, I would have given him a chance. Maybe if he had fought Haney, if he actually went, Haney that was kind of draining for the
35,
he might actually have a chance, but now I'm seeing because now his flows are really coming into this. The lightweight champions now are difficult.
Keyshawn.
I don't think he could beat Keyshawn.
Keyshawn probably. He's the guys Zepeda. I know Mexicans are tough with the chin, but he seems like he would get like eventually he's going to get cracked bad. Pause. Definitely. I mean,
and I think Keyshawn right now is because I mean Keyshawn has been built up by Top Rank. Like I mean, like he was given the tough competition early, and he was because you want to build.
I mean, the Albright fight. People try to point to the Albright fight, but everybody has their one. Everybody has their one.
Yeah, I mean, the Albright fight is his one slip up because he was weeded up and he was fighting. He had his little issues going on or whatever. But since then, it's like Top Rank still kept his opponents like at a level that to help his.
It was that thing. I give Top Rank credit. Most times, it's not names we have to Google for their opponents. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
exactly. So he was built up in a way, and now I think he's at the point where now he's punching. Now he's matured.
Yeah, I mean he's in the camp with Bud and Bomac and all them guys. You know what I'm saying? And he's shown his improvement. Whereas Zepeda, he's just shown the same thing over and over, and it's like,
yeah. I mean, like I said, like the one trick pony shit. Like, I'm not saying it's because Zepeda has good lightweight wins, but now it's getting to the point where now he probably needs to get his title shot now before someone upsets him because someone is. Yeah,
I thought he'd move up eventually because he's kind of big for the weight, but. Maybe that could be an issue. I don't know, but he is who he is, I guess, right?
Yeah, he is who he is at this point, though. But it's like, and I mean, we all like watching him fight, but it's just like the time is starting to tick on him. Like, you either get your title shot or someone will upset him.
He's spoiled on the vine, as LBA would say. He's definitely spoiled on the vine. That's the perfect definition of that.
Yeah, because I mean, Tevin Farmer is a good fighter, but he's not. But this is the type of person. Tevin Farmer is the type of person that it's supposed to, and you're supposed to kind of take out. And then Tevin, on his end, between these fights and the Muratalla fight, where he gave both guys like all absolute hell. It's like, and you see him fall short.
No, he's a warrior. I mean, shouts out to Farmer. He's a fucking warrior, and because I mean, he got knocked out his first fight, his first time in his career, and he's like the guy. I don't know if him or he got the belt before Herring, I think, right? He's like that guy that had some struggles early on in their career, and ended up winning the 130 title. With him, there's him, Roach, Oshaki. 4-1, no 4-126, and Herring, But I think Farmer was that first guy, I think he got the draw or lost that first time, right? In his first.
Well, originally he lost. I mean, he lost his first title shot, but then Dude popped dirty. Dirty.
Yeah,
and then he managed to get a second. And I remember because Tevin Farmer was one of the first people that was signed to Matchroom USA, and he cleared. And he was. I mean, I was there when he scored his actual lone knockout in a title defense. I was right there when he did it, and I was amazed that I was there to witness that. But Tevin was, I'll say that Tevin was about this. Like, he cleared his Matchroom contract, like quick. Like, it's like, I have a mandatory, I have another double mandatory, quick. Yeah, let me fight them and I'll beat them. And he cleared to a point where he was able to go outside of Matchroom if he wanted. And the only mistake he made was not pursuing the tank fight and then going
the tank shit,
and then going in the ring with Jojo Diaz, who Jojo Diaz did beat him, like really beat him. So it's like, but Farmer, but this comeback he's been doing, like you want to see him, like he deserved the victories in these fights. But I know. I know.
Arguably, I figured in Mexico, even though the cards took a little while and they were closer than I thought, I knew Zepeda was going to win that, even though it was pretty close in terms of score.
I mean, it's not as much as a robbery as the first fight was, but it's one of those ones where you think that Farmer did do enough to win, but it's like, but then like there was the first half of the fight where Zepeda did dominate clear. So
Zepeda busted his load. Pause. You know what I'm saying? He kind of just
Yeah. So Zepeda just need. I mean, Zepeda needs some new wrinkles, like I said, and then more than anything like that, he should really. I mean, whoever, it doesn't matter who the champion is now. It's now or never, because someone is going to beat him if he doesn't take his title shot. You might as well just let it be Shakur or Keyshawn or no, it's WBC, so it is Shakur. So Shakur should be next on the list, for him. Like he just needs to make the fight, and just if he loses, he loses. But yeah, it's you either lose to Shakur or you lose to someone that you're not supposed to lose to. So, but yeah, but overall, it was a good fight though. I mean, like it was probably to me the best fight of the weekend out of both cards. I enjoyed it a lot actually.
Just in terms of like fight quality, huh? Okay.
Yeah, fight quality. Yeah.
It was a competitive fight for sure.
Yeah, it was. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed it, and I just want to touch briefly on the other fights on there. I mean, Collazo, obviously. I mean, unfortunately,
he's low-key a pound for pound fighter. I think
he is.
But, he's a hell of a fighter.
But unfortunately, minimum weight or light flyweight will probably never get the respect it deserves. Especially, even though Collazo is probably, I think he's like one of 2 Puerto Rican world champions in boxing today.
Yeah.
But
Collazo versus Mini Pac-Man. Make it happen.
Rosa, a huge body Rosa. I like Rosa, right?
Yeah. I still want to see it. So
yeah. I think. I mean, he's hitting hand. I like to see him move up a little bit. I don't know if body's really at 101. Would he be 108? Right? He'd move up to 108 or 108.
Yeah, it would be 108. That's That's not flyweight. That's
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I know that they're smaller guys. I don't know how they can handle it. But I like to see how he can move up in weight. I'm not sure how old is Collazo, but I like his talent. I think he's
young, but he's young. He punches hard for a guy.
Yeah. No. He be cracking. He's cracking. Most of those a lot of those times the smaller weights. You don't see a lot. You don't see a lot of that.
You don't see a lot of that. But
that body work in that fight was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, dude is cracking at that weight. So yeah, I mean, I definitely. I mean, Duke could. I mean, I can see Duke definitely do get up to 112, 115 even. But
yeah, 115 seems realistic.
Yeah, and then I know. However, there was definitely a scare with Vale and Esparza.
I missed that one. I missed that one. How'd that go?
Vale.
I know Val won.
Esparza, for someone who's 113 pounds. Manages to look incredibly out of shape. I don't even know how that's even possible.
It's her face, dude. She always looks super
Esparza?
Yeah. Her face is chunky. Like her face, she got that fat Mexican face. No offense to Mexican. I'm just saying she got that chubby face. That's
like she's 5'3", she's 113. Like she should be like toned, but she's like I don't know what it is. Why she the female MJ Akbadali. Like both short, tiny people, and they both they're always fucking out of shape all the time. Yeah. But just off pressure alone, though, she gave Vale a lot of trouble. Like in terms of because Vale could have hurt her at all.
So here's my question. In regard to that fight. I assume they're lining up Vale versus Fundora. Based on what you saw, Fundora wins her fight coming up. Would you pick Fundora to
they're in the same division?
I think I think they moved up. So
I don't think I was going to say I don't know her being in the same division as Fundora.
But I just assume they're one division apart. So I assume Oscar wants to make that fight.
I think Fundora fights I think Gabriella fights at 118.
Damn, really? Okay, I thought she was.
Yeah.
Okay.
118 or 120.
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought they were closer on weight.
And from what I saw, if I don't think Oscar would move her up 2 divisions because Fundora punches at that weight, and she had a hard.
Yeah, no, she'll get chalked. She'll get lined and chalked up.
For some reason, I thought she was fighting at 112 or something. Okay.
Yeah, no, she's fighting at 108, but Esparza was 113. She was overweight. So and Vale had a hard time hurting Esparza. So yeah, there's no way in hell that fighting Fundora is on the menu like that. That's not a thing at all. I would be betting on a KO all day, every day if that happened.
That makes sense.
Yeah, no, but then like I said, that Golden Boy Mexico, it was entertaining though. Shout out to Joselito Velasquez too. I just want to get his fight. That was a scrap too. So yeah, Golden Boy. No matter what they do, Golden Boy has lost a lot of talent for their various reasons, but they know how to put cards. Yeah, they know how to put on a card. That's true. That is.
They're acting on cards. That Neri. Whole Venetian card, is a fucking amazing card. You know what I'm saying? It's the cards aren't supposed to be good are always good for them. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, like I you definitely have to give it to Oscar and his matchmakers, like because with their talent, they shouldn't be having that type of entertaining content. But yeah, it was incredibly entertaining. I was definitely I was definitely entertained by everything.